Good morning, noon, or night. My name is Jet, and welcome to my channel, JITV, Jet in the Valley. So this one is going to be quickly about artificial scarcity. So one of the reasons they don't want anybody to grow their own food is because they don't want people to understand, acknowledge, and see that there is, by the systems being created, are an artificial scarcity. Okay, there should be no scarcity of food. The only reason there's a scarcity of food is because people don't love God, and love other people, right? God set this place up for abundance. I'm doing a project with my daughter. It's called See It, Seed It. So every time we see seeds, we seed it. We're trying to grow it. So we're growing some lemons and peppers and just some strawberries. And in one little piece of fruit, sometimes, like a kiwi, there could be 1,000 seeds in there. So that's 1,000 possibilities for more plants to grow from just one plant. Okay? Inside of a tomato, all of those seeds that are in there gives the opportunity for 100, 200 more tomato plants to be grown. So even if the birds eat a lot of it and this, that, and the other, see, God set it up to where the part of the food that doesn't taste good, it grows more of itself. So this is what we would call food scrap. So you take your food scrap out, you cut the seeds out of your food, you eat the food, then you plant the seeds of the part you don't eat, and it grows more food. The reason that people are starving is because people don't love God and love other people. They listen to the systems that are functioning are man-centered systems. They're centered by humans and human logic and human reason and human wants and desires and pleasures and all of these different things. Okay, well, humans are not pure love. Humans have the capability to do anti-loving stuff. Our mind and our body are in a fallen, less than perfect condition, and we are separated from the Most High God. That's how we're born here. That's why it says we must be born again. We're born of water, we're born of our mother, and then we have to be born of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, which is the new spirit that all humans who love are going to receive. We all receive the same spirit, the Spirit of Jesus Christ, or Yeshua HaMashiach. There is no magic name for God, okay? It's like the word, let's see, gato. I think the word gato means cat, right? So Spanish, the word is gato. Well, I speak English, okay? I don't say gato, I say cat. That is a translation of the word gato. So when I tell you about my cat, its name is Piggy, and it's gray, and it's fuzzy, and all this, I love my cat, blah, 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 blah. Do you know that I'm talking about a cat because I'm saying the word cat? I'm not saying gato. I don't speak Spanish. I speak English. So if you speak English, the translation for the Most High God that came here in a body is Jesus Christ. That's what they translated it as. Okay, you can say Yeshua HaMashiach or whatever, but if someone says Jesus Christ, that's not wrong. That's a translation. That's just like if someone expected me to say gato instead of cat. It doesn't make any sense. It's a fleshly thing. People think, and also biblically speaking, there's 10 or 12 different names for God. He goes by different stuff all of the time because he was trying to avoid the trap of there being a sacred name. There is no sacred name for God. Okay, God is sacred. God is holy. God had 10 or 12 different names in the Bible, went by different things. It says, when the Most High God is born in a body, you're going to call him Emmanuel. Emmanuel means God is with us. And he asked, Moses asked, what do I call you? He said, I am that I am. God, the descriptions for God and his name are descriptions of what he does. Okay, that's what they're for. It's what he is, what he does, or who he is. And there's no magic name for God. I heard someone say, it's like, if we could only say the name of God correctly, then all this, that, and the other would happen. And no, that's not the nature of reality. That's not the nature of reality. There's no magic word. The magic that happens is being born again and accepting the truth of the nature of reality. So I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but it's fleshly and worldly to think that you're holier than me because I say Jesus Christ. And I say the Most High God. And I don't say Yeshua HaMashiach. And I don't say Yeshua. And I don't say all these things. That is fleshly to think that I don't love God the same as someone else does because I speak English. Okay? It's very fleshly and it's culty. So if you're not loving God and loving other people, you are in a cult. It's not hard to understand. The only freedom that there is to love God, love, and love other people. If you are not doing that, you are in a cult. And in cults, what they have cults for is for control. They want to control you and puppet you and to get you to hate these people and these people to hate these people so they can start wars and they can make money and they can keep people separated from each other and people separated from the Most High God. Okay? It's a racket. All of the world and all of the systems are a racket. It's not hard to, once you see it, and there's no getting around it. So, this was artificial scarcity. They create artificial scarcity. The Most High God set us up for success. There's abundance. You know what? I'm going to do this. Can you get it down here? So, I live in West Virginia. Let's see. Can you see? Can you see it behind me? But can you see all the trees? There is an abundance of trees here that filter the air and make it it's a almost perfect system. Nature is still in a fallen, less than perfect condition. It says all of creation groans for the revealing of the sons of man, right? All of creation groans because we are all, there's a song that says, waiting for the master to come. And it says, why does the weeping willow cry? And why is everything groaning and all this? Because we're waiting for the master to come. We're waiting for the Most High God to come back and bring restoration to the earth. God wanted no life cycles. When God comes back, it's going to be restored in perfection. There's not going to be a nighttime anymore. There's not going to be life cycles anymore. It's going to be constantly lit up with the light of the glory of God because He's going to be there. We're not going to be separated from God anymore. This is the opportunity to say yes to being God's family or say no to being God's family. And there's only two choices. It's either yes or no. Now, many people, he's asked, and they have said no. It says, the king set out these invitations to the wedding. Do you want to come to this wedding? And everybody responds, it's a feast and it's going to be awesome and perfect. It's like the greatest wedding that anybody's ever had. And everybody said no. They were like, oh, I'm busy. I'm doing something. There's this going on. I can't do this. So then the king sent out to everybody. That was just his closest people he sent to, and nobody wanted to go. So he sent it out to everybody, the invitation out to everybody. So anybody can say yes to going, but you have to be willing to sacrifice anything in you that is not of love, because the Most High God is holy and is of love. So if you are in a church or wherever, and they're not telling you that you have to live holy, and you have to understand what that word means, and not you have to, but why living holy is going to be the only thing that brings you joy and peace and contentment and happiness and kindness and all of these things, self-control, long-suffering, living holy, okay, which is what Jesus Christ did, which is love-based living, okay, is the only thing that's going to satisfy your soul, your spirit, life force, soul, energy, right? Your soul. We're the sheep of the Most High God. It's just like this. People always talk about beware of wolves in sheep clothing, right? We are walking around as sheep in wolves' clothing. That's the whole trick and trap of it all. We're walking around before we know. The world is laughing at us because it knows that we have a soul, a spirit, and we belong to the Most High God. But we are out doing worldly, anti-love, anti-holy, evil stuff. It's the nature of it. I can't help it. I didn't make the rules of it. Many people who know love, who came from God, are pretending, and they're being counterfeits to fit in to the world, okay? Before I understood what was going on, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay? I had 4 older brothers. I grew up, I had Playboys in my bathrooms. That's what I grew up seeing in my house, in my life. I grew up with raging parties around me. So I started smoking cigarettes when I was 12. I started drinking when I was 12. So I started partying when I was 12, right? And it just progressed and continued. And it's not that I'm not smart. I hated school because people made such a big deal out of my grades, you know. I was in gifted classes and this, that, and the other, whatever. I ended up graduating a year early from high school. I was the only person to do that so I could go to the military because I couldn't handle the situation that I was in. My household and my life situation was very stressful for no good reason, really, other than the reason that if you love and love God and love other people, your life is you're targeted. Okay, if you love God and love other people, even if you're being anti-loving and doing evil stuff, right? There's still a target on you because it's the nature of reality. Okay, it's God's people. Nothing is new under the sun. It's never changed. This is how it always is. This is how it always is. So growing up, and I joined the military because I thought that's what made you a badass. And I had 4 older brothers, and I watched Saving Private Ryan like 40 times the summer before I was 13. So that's what they call predictive programming, and they're conditioning you, and it's like a type of MK Ultra to train people what to think and what to do, what they want to do to make you a cog in the machine. So they always puff you up on pride. They really want people to be proud, because once people are proud, then they can trigger them to do whatever thing that comes along. You know, if you're proud to be an American, if you're into this Christian nationalism, you're proud to be an American, someone comes to you and they say X amount of number of things that they could say to trigger you, and you're going to snap and freak out and take up arms and run and try and defend whatever you think you're defending, because the system has conditioned you, and now the system is triggering you because they need you to come storm the White House so that they can make people look insane, and they can continue to cause a divide among people, right? They want to know who's going to do what. So a lot of the times, many of these things, these social things, they're testing the waters to see what side you're on. Obviously, that's what Facebook is all about, and the media and all the internet stuff is all about. So you're walking around before you come to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ, doing everything that the world is doing, right? And even if you're successful in it, many times you are super successful. You're running the systems, and you're the best in your whatever, and you're best in your league, and all these different things, right? But the Most High God looks for a contrite heart, right? If you belong to God, He's going to be looking for you, right? And He's going to be guiding you your whole life. So if you have to if you have to be a love-based living person, you have to have your garments white, you have to be washed clean, you have to be purified to get into the eternal everlasting life when earth is renewed as the New Jerusalem, okay, with only perfection, right? Then He's going to be guiding you to understand and to learn and to know that you have to reject evil. You have to, first of all, what evil is. I didn't know that I was doing, to be honest, I didn't know I was doing stuff that would be considered evil. I just was doing what everybody else was doing. Whatever I saw, whatever was around. And I was partying, and I thought that made you tough. I was fighting and was doing all these different things. And I had tons of problems, right? I had tons of problems. I'm out fighting and in all these different things. And then I start to find out, these things aren't normal. These things aren't loving. These things are actually causing me the problems. And it was shocking. And then I realized I can't stop doing some of them. So I smoked cigarettes for 24 years. I know it's bad. I have a 6-year-old daughter. I would smoke out back and hide, but it had gotten to the point where I was like smoking more and more again, and then I'd slow down or whatever. But I never let her see me smoke for the first few years. But then, just like everything, it gets a little normalized. So then she'd come out or whatever, and I didn't smoke all the time, but she definitely saw me smoke cigarettes. And I knew that that was conditioning her to know that smoking was okay and that smoking was the thing that you could do. And I didn't want that for her. But at the same time, I felt like I couldn't stop. I felt like just totally out of control. There's so many lies that are in your system that you just believe. Like, how am I going to cope with stress if I can't smoke a cigarette? So these are all lies of Satan. These are all lies of the enemy, but we believe them before we have the truth of the word of the Most High God in us, okay? The solution is to get the word and the understanding of the Most High God into your system. Therefore, it can battle the lies that Satan has put in there, okay? That's the whole system of what has to happen. If you are not getting the truth put in you, then you are still going to believe all the lies of the world and the devil. They say the enemy is the world, the flesh, and the devil. Our mind and our body are in a fallen, less than perfect condition, okay? It's lusty, greedy, envious, selfish. It's a hater, okay? These are natural things. We don't have to feel guilty or ashamed about it, but it's the truth of what it is. So we have to not lean on our own understandings about stuff. We have to lean on the Most High God's understanding, which means you have to learn about Jesus Christ and how he functioned and all the things he did and what he thought and he felt and he believed, okay? And he functioned and he listened to the Most High God because it's just like this, okay? We're in like a maze, right? God has the way out of the maze. And he's going to tell you over a microphone, okay, make a left, okay, make a right, make another left, make a right, go 20 feet, make a left, make a right, to get you to out of the trap of the maze that we're in, to get you to the new Jerusalem, to get you to the new, heaven's not the only goal. Heaven, obviously, I'm not dissing heaven. I'm just saying that once you get into the Bible and you really start reading, you see the future of the nation of reality is the new Jerusalem. God makes a perfected creation in earth. Okay, earth was created to be inhabited. So it's going to be perfected and renewed. So